How to become a professional piercer. Part 1. Going to go through whether or not it's the right fit for you in Body Piercing Basics, episode number 20, coming up right now. For those that are new to the channel, my name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I'm the owner and operator of the Axiom Body Piercing Studio located in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen. So when I talk to you about these things, I'm talking to you as somebody who has been in the industry for a very long time, has had apprentices, has trained somebody to pierce, or a number of people to pierce, and went through the apprenticeship myself under someone else. What we're going to do is I'm going to break this up into 2 or 3 different videos, just basically because it would be extremely long otherwise. Also, if you kind of want to jump ahead in the notes, so to speak, you might want to check out my blog on the subject. It is linked in the description. I wrote that a couple of years ago, and there's a lot of good information in there, and I'll probably be going over some of that in the video too. This will be more, maybe a little bit longer in some directions and some other directions. Second part I'm going to be doing, and we post these weekly, or I post these weekly, the next one I'm going to be doing will cover research and preparing to get it, to start an apprenticeship, some of the things I would suggest doing, and also then looking for that person to apprentice under. First thing is this going to be a good fit for you? I know it's very difficult to know that for sure, whether or not, without actually working in the industry. It's not uncommon for people to get into this and last maybe a year or 2 and then totally fall off the face of the planet. It's very rare that they stick around for as long as I have, and some of the people that I know that started when I did. It's just one of those industries that can chew you up and spit you out, mainly because people have different expectations of what the job is before they get into it. So the purpose of this video is to kind of give you kind of overview of what is going to be expected, what you should consider, and whether or not it's a good fit for you before you go through the whole process of going through an apprenticeship and then realizing, I don't like this, this is not me. So the first thing we're going to cover is long hours in your responsibilities. I think it's a misconception with piercing that you just kind of come in, do the piercing, drop the mic, and leave, and there's nothing else involved. With piercing, just like being self-employed, which to a degree is what you are doing, it involves everything. It involves maintenance, it involves janitorial duties, it involves marketing, it involves sales, it involves customer support, it involves inventory, supplies, everything. And a lot of times, especially if you're in a busy shop, you're not going to have the time to do those things during normal hours. So it's not uncommon for me to show up an hour or even 2-3 hours before I have to be here to get things done, like making videos or updating a website or doing what have you, cleaning, mopping the floors. All those things are part of your job. They do involve, and they will affect your business. No way around it. The other thing is it has all the advantages and disadvantages of owning your own business. And I know I've said this once, and I'm just going to say it again. Now, some of the things that involves is a lot of freedom. That's one of the advantages. You basically control your own destiny. You can figure out exactly how much money you want to make on each piercing. You can set prices. You can do all those fun things that are involved with owning your own business and the pride of ownership. It also gives you the flexibility to try out other things. Me, personally, it has allowed me the ability to, when I have a hobby or something I want to go try out, kind of setting aside a little bit of time to do that I probably wouldn't be able to achieve if I worked a 9-to-5 job in an office like I did before I started piercing. However, that's also going to involve another thing. It's called self-employment. And self-employment does involve things like there's no benefits, there's no paid sick days, there's no paid vacation, there's no paid insurance, there's no retirement plan. All of those things fall under your responsibility. So If you're one of those people that wants that security and constant support mechanism that comes with working for a large company and having consistent payments and consistent income every week, this is not going to be the choice that you want to make, because your income is going to fluctuate from month to month, to day. Some days you'll come in with nothing in your pocket and walk out with $1,000. Other days you'll come in with $1,000 in your pocket and leave with $500. It's just the nature of owning your own business. If you are unwilling to take that roller coaster ride and don't think that's for you, then I would suggest not getting into the industry. One thing, I'm sure what you're thinking is, no, I'm going to be working for a studio. Most people don't understand that somebody that works for a studio is usually not a salary employee. They're not receiving benefits. They're not receiving any type of thing that involves being employed, including withholding their income tax withholding. Usually when you work in a studio, you are either subcontracting to do it or you're subletting. Both cases, you are basically self-employed. You're responsible for your own accounting, possibly all your supplies, paying some form of rent, some form of the overhead, and all those things that are involved with owning your own business. Also doing your own taxes and taking care of your own insurance and benefits and all that stuff falls on you. Number 3, you're going to end up wearing a lot of hats. This goes back to being self-employed. Generally, my rule has always been, I will not pay somebody to do something for me, for my business, unless it's cheaper for me to pay them than it is for me to do it. So, you're going to have to do things like take the trash out, clean the bathroom, do all the janitorial things. You're going to have to understand and learn about metals. You've got to turn into a jewelry salesman. You're going to need to know where the jewelry is manufactured, how it was manufactured, what methods are best, what is it about that material that's better than other materials, what type of closures does it have, all these things to sell people, because selling somebody something, 90% of it is educating the person on the other side to whether or not this is the right purchase for them. And that includes piercing. If you're selling somebody a car, telling them about the features and knowing the car inside and out is going to make you a better salesperson. As a piercer, you need to know all these things. You're also going to need to know about wound care and aftercare instructions. You're going to have to be able to say them very, very in depth every single time, and you're going to have to retain information about that. You're also going to be somebody who has to deal with decontamination, sterilization, disinfecting, all the things that are involved with that, which include, maintaining your sterilizer and scrubbing clamps and cleaning clamps and doing all those things that I do on a regular basis. And this is, once again, another thing that you're probably going to do outside of your normal business hours, depending on how busy you are. You're also going to be an accountant. You're going to be responsible for taking care of the bookwork and making sure that everything, every nickel and penny is in the right, correct place, so that when you go to do taxes, you don't get audited. And now you know. Other things you're going to need to do is inventory. And we're not just talking about jewelry. We're talking about stocking paper towels and toilet paper and all those things that go into running a healthy business. You're going to have to keep track of that. You're going to have to be organized. You're going to have to know when to order and what to order. Marketing. In most cases, even if the studio does have some type of marketing program, you are probably going to want to do something additionally on top of that. And that will involve everything from simply posting photos to your Instagram or Facebook account or Twitter, or setting up promotions, events, so forth. Having your own website and maintaining that and posting content to it on a regular basis, or having your own YouTube channel and posting content for your clients and other people on there. You are constantly going to be marketing yourself as a piercer through your whole career. And once again, it goes back to what I said earlier. If you can do it, and it's not a hassle, and it's going to be easier for you to do it yourself, then it's going to be to pay somebody because you don't have the time to do it. You need to do it yourself. The other thing you're going to need to be is an emotional support and customer service support. My number is posted on everything, and every piece of paper that goes out of the studio has my direct line. I answer my phone if I'm awake, not piercing somebody or not eating something messy. It is 24/7 support. Sometimes it's something as simple as the ball fell off to something complex like I'm in a car accident and I don't know how to take this jewelry out. It's very important that you're accessible to your clients, not just during business hours, but all the time, because a lot of times that will gain you long-term clients and they need that support from you, and that's what they pay for. You're going to need to be a researcher. What I mean by that is when it comes down to new information coming out in the industry, you need to be able to sit down, spend the time and necessity to obtain the information to make an educated decision. You can't just take everything. Usually there's some money motivation behind most products, and you need to know whether or not that's a safe product to use or not. You need to be constantly learning new things as new information becomes available. You can't just learn everything you need to know, and like right now, like 2019, I've learned everything and not learn anything in the future. It is an industry, like any industry. New information comes available, new techniques, new technology, and you need to stay abreast of that. And you have to have that ability to research. And I'll get into more of that when we start the next episode. Number 4, and this is kind of goes into the same thing. You need to be able to learn new information and retain it sometimes for long periods of time. It is a memory game. You need to know things like, why is that piercing looking that way? What is the reaction? Why is that causing it? Or you need to be able to organize the information in a way that you have quick access to it. You are going to probably be repeating the same stuff over and over again, which helps you remember stuff, but every once in a while something will come up and you're like, I haven't done that piercing for 2 years. What is it that I need to tell this person? So you need to have that information readily available, and like I said, you need to learn how to research. But if you're one of those people that can't retain information or doesn't really pull it up very quickly, then this may not be the best option for you for employment or career. You have to be a self-motivator. This is not a business where you're going to have a boss standing over you all the time and saying, this is your job for today. You get to go over there and scrub pots for 15 minutes. Then after you're done with that, I want you to mop the floor. You need to be the type of person that goes in and goes, oh yeah, this floor needs to be cleaned. Oh, that trash is kind of full. I need to empty that. Oh, we're really low on paper towels. I need to order those. I need to make sure that the website's updated with this new information. I've got this person coming in next week. I need to make sure that I have the proper jewelry. Oh, I'm a little low on this. You have to be the person that's self-motivated that does this every day. You can't be somebody that just comes in, sits down, and goes, yeah, I hope somebody comes in today, and that's all you do all day. Well, if you're leaning, you got time for cleaning and ordering stuff and learning stuff and researching and producing content. So if you're one of those people that's not a self-motivator and you don't self-start, this may not be the best option for you. You need to love to interact with other people. Yes, that's right. A lot of people have this misconception that you can be a grumpy grouch and kind of eccentric and weird and piercing, and people will just accept it and come in and deal with it. You're not going to get clients that you keep. You're not going to get clients that continue to come back or refer you if you're a complete jerk to them. You need to learn how to interact with people, because the more open you are, the more questions you ask, the more the person feels comfortable and safe with you, the more information they're going to give you if there's a problem or if they have a question about something, or they're going to tell you something that may impede their ability to get pierced or make it not the best situation. If you're very closed, also helping them through the actual piercing process, which is stressful. Let's face it, anybody who's been pierced knows that to a level it is stressful to get pierced. If you talk to them, you get them engaged, you start talking about their issues or what they've got going on in their life, what they do for a living, what kind of art, movies, whatever. You can distract them from all the stress that they're building up and anxiety as you open up all these scary looking items and slay them out and then start moving towards them. I don't know how many clients I've had where they say they barely felt the piercing at all. And I really believe that, yes, my technique had a lot to do with that, but also the fact that we were carrying on a conversation about something they loved and cherished made an impact because they weren't thinking about the piercing. It was instantaneous and it happened. So you have to love talking to people. You have to also be patient, because I can tell you, there is always going to be a percentage of clientele that are demanding, contradictive, obsessive, dismissive, all of those negative things. They're going to be hard to deal with, and you have to have that patience and that love of interacting with people to get them to get to the point where you can patiently go, yeah, I don't think I'm the best choice for you, or get them through the process easily. You're not going to get to interact with people you like every single day. If you're one of those people that doesn't like people, I don't like people, or you don't like people that are different from you or from other social standings and etc., this is not the job for you, because you're going to interact with people from weirdos, street kids, crazy youth group movements, whatever, all the way up to professional people. So you're going to have everything in between. And if you're one of those people that's easily annoyed or tends to be prejudiced towards certain types of groups or what have you, you are not going to last in this industry. You have to kind of like interacting with new people every day. It's a big part of it. It's one of the reasons why I still do it, is because I get that challenge every day. I get to talk to new people. And then pierce them. It's a double positive. Back to this and the interaction. And I did say a little bit about this. You need to stay about staying calm and dealing with people that you normally wouldn't like to deal with or are difficult to deal with. You need to have the ability to stay calm and focused in stressful situations, because when people do question your abilities and constantly tend to get under your skin with certain things and question absolutely everything you're doing, it can be very stressful and it can lead to mistakes. You have to be able to stay calm. The other thing is if something does go wrong, like the piercer or the person getting pierced moves during the procedure, or if the jewelry falls out, or they move right when you're doing the jewelry transfer and somehow or another you can't get the jewelry in. You need to be able to stay calm during those situations, assess it, and make an educated and calm and rational decision on how to fix it. If you're one of those people that once stress hits, you just freak out and you can't focus, this is not a career that you're going to do well in. You need to get past that. You need to have that ability to just calmly go, okay, here's the problem, let's fix it, and not just add to the stress and problems that you're encountering. This is something that doesn't really come up very often, and people don't really talk about it. At least I wish somebody would have talked to me about it. As a piercer, you do become kind of a public figure. A minor local celebrity, maybe, would be a good way to put it. You're going to have situations where people that you have absolutely no idea who they are well know your name, come up to you and talk to you on a regular basis. They're going to ask you piercing questions sometimes. Sometimes they just want to know how you're doing and say hello. Sometimes they just want to show you the piercing that they have, or they have a question they want to ask you about piercing. You have to be okay with that happening on a regular basis. And it will affect your relationships. People around you will have to be able to deal with that occasionally. The other thing is that if you're one of those people that's very avid about their privacy, you are going to be in a situation where pretty much everything you do can affect your business if you do it in public. Meaning, if you're posting anything online, you need to be cautious about what you talk about, who you talk about, and any type of political beliefs and etc. You need to be aware that even if you feel like I've blocked off this account, nobody outside of my closest friends and family will ever see this, reality is that they are going to see it, and it can affect business, and it is how you represent yourself professionally. There was a recent situation where a long-established piercer who owned his own business, very reputable, etc. Made a couple offhanded comments that were taken out of context, and it blew into a point where he was pretty much ran out of town. I don't know the whole story. I'm not going to get into that. That's not important. But you need to understand that what you say to clients, what you say in public, what you say online, how you represent yourself will affect business. And you have to be comfortable with that. And you have to be comfortable with people constantly bothering you with odd questions when you're out just trying to enjoy the day with your family or friends. And here's the last one. If you're one of those people that thinks that this is going to make you $1 billion and you're going to be driving in the back of limousines every day with models and big giant bottles of whiskey, this is not the job for you. Yes, I do make a comfortable living. I live comfortably. I struggle occasionally. I do okay. I'm fine with that because I love what I'm doing, and that's the reason. I can make a lot more money doing other things, but I prefer to do this because this is what I enjoy, and that's a living. If you do not have that attitude, or you are very money oriented, or you want the security blanket of 9 to 5 and making millions of dollars and all this other stuff, this is probably not a good career choice for you. The industry does go up and down during trends. It's reliable on fashion trends, people's whims for the most part, economic situations, and the fact that the main demographic that we generally work with is between the ages of 16 and 25, which is not going to have a lot of disposable income. So you really have to love what you're doing to do this. If you're one of those people that is worried about how much money you're going to make, go become an accountant. Go do something boring. That's probably going to satisfy that end of it. And my father used to say you can either have a job that pays your bills every day or every time on time, or you can have a career and love going to work every day. So that's my final thing that I'm going to say on this. I will see you next week for the next installment. We're going to cover some of the things you should research, and then we'll move on to, as I said earlier, we'll move on to preparing yourself for an apprenticeship and some of the suggestions I would have for that, and then picking out somebody to apprentice under and how to approach that. Till next time, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these, we do post anywhere from 3 to 4 videos a week covering body piercing and tattooing. Please hit the subscribe button. If you want to make sure you don't miss anything, hit that notification bell. Other than that, have a good day. Hope you found this helpful. Happy piercings. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your piercing needs in the future.